Happening now, Governor Hochul announces over 18,000 job openings for migrants and asylum seekers with legal work status. And a spike in suspected fatal drug overdoses sparks concern in Chautauqua County. Plus, the 2nd Street McDonald's abruptly closes, leaving the community in shock.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us, Western New York News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, on October 2nd, 2023, at approximately 1 p.m., the Jamestown Police Department's 1st Platoon received a report of an individual armed with a handgun walking along Crown Street. Upon investigation, it was discovered that the firearm had been concealed in a nearby residence by Jaden M. Rogers. Rogers, already wanted on an outstanding arrest warrant for assault on the 3rd degree and endangering the welfare of a child stemming from a separate incident, was taken into custody. Additionally, Rogers now faces a charge of tampering with physical evidence classified as a felony. As of now, Jaden M. Rogers is being held pending his arraignment in Jamestown City Court. Well, in other news, on October 2nd, 2023, troopers from State Police Fredonia apprehended Jose J. Ruiz Jr. after an investigation into a wallet theft incident at the Dunkirk Aldi on September 28th. According to the victim, she inadvertently left her wallet near the store's checkout counter after paying for her groceries. Upon realizing her wallet was missing, she returned to the store but couldn't locate it. With the cooperation of Aldi's management, law enforcement officers reviewed surveillance footage identifying the suspect as Jose J. Ruiz Jr., who was also known by the alias DJ Smooth. Further inquiry confirmed his involvement in the incident. Ruiz Jr. was taken into custody without resistance and transported to State Police Fredonia for processing. He now faces a felony charge of grand larceny in the 4th degree, a Class E felony. He has been released on an appearance ticket for the town of Dunkirk Court, with his court date scheduled for later this month. Well, in other news, Erie County District Attorney John J. Flynn has announced the indictment of 3 individuals in connection with the residential burglary in Amherst. Carlos David Chaparro James, age 29, and Christian Camilo Garcia Guzman, age 33, both from California, were arraigned on 1 count of burglary in the 2nd degree and 1 count of resisting arrest. Their co-defendant, Johanna P. Parra Morales, age 36, also from California, faces charges of burglary in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 7th degree, and unlawful fleeing of a police officer. The incident took place on June 26, 2023, when Amherst police responded to a reported burglary in progress. Parra Morales allegedly drove Chaparro James and Garcia Guzman to the residence, where they broke in, stole personal items, and fled in a vehicle driven by Parra Morales. Following a brief pursuit, the suspects attempted to evade arrest but were apprehended. Methamphetamine was reportedly found in Parra Morales' possession, along with stolen jewelry and personal items. All 3 defendants, Colombian nationals, were initially arraigned in Amherst Town Court and are scheduled to return for a pretrial conference on October 12, 2023 at 3 p.m. They remain held without bail. If convicted of the highest count, they could face a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. Well, in other news, Erie County District Attorney John J. Flynn has announced the arraignment of 33-year-old Nico J. Carter of Cheektowaga. Carter, a former jail deputy with the Erie County Sheriff's Office, faced charges of promoting prison contraband in the 1st degree, a Class D felony, conspiracy in the 4th degree, a Class E felony, and official misconduct, a Class A misdemeanor. Carter stands accused of knowingly and unlawfully introducing dangerous contraband into the Erie County Holding Center and conspiring to sell it to inmates. Consequently, he has been placed on unpaid administrative leave by the Erie County Sheriff's Office. Judge Andrew C. Lotempio presided over Carter's arraignment, where he was released on his own recognizance due to the non-qualifying offenses for bail. Carter is set to return on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. for a felony hearing. If convicted of the most severe charge, promoting prison contraband in the 1st degree, he could face a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. As WNY News Now continues, Governor Hochul announces over 18,000 job openings for migrants and asylum seekers with legal work status. And later, the 2nd Street McDonald's abruptly closes, leaving the community in shock. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Governor Kathy Hochul has taken proactive steps to address the intersection of immigration and employment in New York.
You know, for months I've been saying the key to solving the asylum seeker crisis, and it's a crisis because of the volume of people, the key is so simple, it's so crystal clear. They came to work, so let's put them to work. Let's do that. And the question was, will there be people ready to hire them? And that was the unknown. That is something we weren't sure. Will there be enough businesses? And today we're here to highlight a business, before I make our announcement, to an industry that showed up. And I mentioned Leslie a minute ago, but Hot Bread Kitchen, not just hosting us here today, but stepping up to help our neighbors in a time of their greatest need. And I thank you for that. And all of our other individuals who are part of this story. Our state continues to face two simultaneous, really intense problems that need to be solved, a crisis we would call them. One is the humanitarian crisis that has unfolded over the last 15 months. People coming here in search of a better life, search of a job, but also the crisis of a workforce shortage, worker shortage. And what we have realized is that it's not solved. You can't go create a hologram of a person to go work in a job. You need real people. And this state has always thrived by embracing people from other countries, other lands, people coming without knowing the language. Maybe they didn't have a lot of skills, but they were given a chance. And that's what we're talking about here today, giving people that chance. The challenge for us now is there's so many jobs open that it actually has potential to cripple our economy if we don't find more people to take these jobs. It is that dire. Something that is completely foreign to me, as someone who grew up in an old Rust Belt area of the state, now emerged with a new identity, a new mojo, if you will. But Buffalo was a place that I grew up, and the jobs were just fleeing out the door. Unemployment rate was 15, 17, 18%. And the thought that we'd ever get unemployment under 4% was just, it would never happen in my lifetime. Well, I'm really proud that since I've been governor for 2 years, unemployment has dropped 42%, going from 6.9% to 3.9%. And so what that means is, that's good. It means if you want a job, you'll find one. But what does that do to the employers who can only exist because of the manpower, the woman power that comes from workers? So we have a 2-for-1 solution here. Now we have all these people who want to be here. I have all these jobs that are open. You marry the two together and you've solved the problems.
The state has identified more than 18,000 job opportunities across various industries, including accommodation and food services, healthcare, manufacturing, and administrative support. Nearly 400 employers have expressed their readiness to welcome individuals with legal work status into their workforce. The initiative began with a directive from Governor Hochul to the New York State Department of Labor on August 24th, which led to a comprehensive outreach effort. Employers were encouraged to express their willingness to hire authorized individuals through a dedicated portal, while migrants and asylum seekers with work authorization were invited to register for assistance. The effort was supported by a team of 70 state personnel representing 16 different agencies. To further facilitate this integration, a public awareness campaign will be launched, encouraging more employers to articulate their workforce needs and embrace asylum seekers and migrants with legal work authorizations. The campaign will employ social media and digital channels, along with a digital flyer directing employers to the department's intake form. Governor Hochul's advocacy for work authorization as a solution to the crisis aims to help migrants and asylum seekers transition from taxpayer-funded shelters to independent living. Notably, the federal government has granted temporary protected status to individuals arriving from Venezuela on or before July 31, 2023, potentially benefiting more than 15,000 Venezuelan individuals in New York. Additionally, Governor Hochul has allocated substantial resources to case management, deploying National Guard personnel and financial support to assist migrants and asylum seekers in navigating the legal work authorization process. The state has committed $1.7 billion to support these individuals, covering shelter, transportation, social services, and offering state-owned sites for shelters. Well, in other news, a troubling increase in suspected fatal drug overdoses has shaken Chautauqua County, with 4 deaths reported in the Jamestown vicinity over the weekend. Local authorities, including the Chautauqua County Health Department, the Department of Mental Hygiene, Jamestown Police Department, and the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office, are urging residents to exercise extreme caution. The suspected overdoses have raised concerns that street drugs circulating in the community may contain fentanyl, a highly potent and deadly opioid. Even minuscule amounts of fentanyl can be fatal. Residents are implored to reach out to loved ones battling drug abuse or addiction and share this crucial information. For individuals using drugs or their families, obtaining a naloxone, also known as a Narcan kit, is strongly recommended, and they should be prepared to dial 911 in the event of an overdose. Local sources for Narcan kits can be found at combatAddictionCHQ.com. Furthermore, Chautauqua County offers a range of chemical dependency services, also accessible through combatAddictionCHQ.com. Under the New York State 911 Good Samaritan law, individuals can call 911 without fear of arrest when seeking emergency medical care for a drug or alcohol overdose or when witnessing someone overdosing. Well, in other news, this morning, residents and passerby were surprised to find crews dismantling the 2nd Street McDonald's, located across from the Bullfrog Bar and Motel in Jamestown. The McDonald's signage has already been removed and workers are currently on site. The unexpected closure caught the community off guard, as calls to the listed location, McDonald's number 0199, are now directed to a voicemail. WNY News Now reporters arrived at the scene, but the franchisee was not on site for questioning. Messages have been left for the franchisee, and WNY News Now is actively seeking further details on this development. The reasons behind the abrupt closure remain unknown at this time. The community and regular patrons of the McDonald's are eager for more information, and WNY News Now will continue to reach out to gather more information on this unexpected turn of events. Stay tuned for updates as this story unfolds. Well, coming up next, we hear a statement from New York Attorney General Letitia James on the trial against Donald Trump. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Let's take a look at some of the weather headlines. Well, with high pressure still in control, it's going to continue to feel like the middle of July over the next few days rather than early October. We could be talking about some record-breaking temperatures tomorrow, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. A cold front will eventually pass through the region Friday, bringing a period of rain showers to the region and definitely some chillier temperatures. As we head into the weekend, these temperatures will go from the 80s today and tomorrow to the 40s and 50s by the weekend. And there is a chance that the highest elevation Sunday night and early Monday could see some wet snowflakes. So let's talk about those temperatures for tomorrow, where the temperatures will reach their peak for the week. Temperatures across the southern tier and northern Pennsylvania looking at the low to mid 80s. Niagara Frontier, we're looking at highs in the mid to upper 80s, including the Buffalo area, and in areas near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, generally the upper 70s to lower 80s. So let's take a look at those record temperatures tomorrow versus the forecasted highs across the region. Most of these records were set back in 1951. Buffalo, the record 87. We're forecasting a high of 87, so they could tie, possibly break their record. Erie's record should be safe with a record high of 89, with a forecasted high of 80. Dunkirk record is 81. We're calling for a high of 82, so they could tie or break their record. Same thing in Jamestown. We might come close to breaking that record of 85. We're forecasting a high of 83. So yeah, some record-breaking temperatures are possibly on the way for tomorrow. The almanac for today made it to a high of 76 degrees yesterday in the city. Our low was 55. The record for today, 87, set back in 1927. Record low, 24, set back in 1985. So let's time out future scan. With high pressure still in control, we're still dry. There's still not much to talk about. Mainly clear skies overnight tonight, possibly some fog across inland locations, and then another beautiful day tomorrow with partly and mostly sunny skies across the region. For Thursday, we start the day off with some sunshine, but the clouds will be on the increase through the afternoon. This out ahead of our next system, which will push that cold front through the region on Friday. So here's your forecast for tonight. Generally partly to mainly clear skies across the region. Fog across the inland locations with lows overnight near 50 in the inland and valley locations to the upper 50s to lower 60s across the Lake Erie shoreline. Your forecast for tomorrow, another beautiful day out there, partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s across Lake Erie and to the mid to upper 80s across the inland locations. Just a quick reminder, there is a nationwide emergency alert test tomorrow that will be conducted by FEMA and FCC. This test is scheduled to take place at 2:20 p.m. and it will include all cell phones, TVs, and radios. For the cell phones, it's projected to last about 30 minutes, and on the TV and radios, it's projected to last for about a minute or two. This is just a test to test the emergency alert system. If you don't want to receive these tests or the messages on your cell phones during this time, you can turn your cell phone off or put it into airplane mode for the duration of the test. And this test is done every 3 years. The last time it was done was in 2021. And now that 7-day outlook powered by Ultimate Solutions. So dry weather will continue through at least Thursday, although the clouds will be on increase. Cold front moves through the region on Friday with a period of rain showers. Temperatures back down to the mid 60s for Friday, and then we're in the 40s to lower 50s for Saturday and Sunday into early next week with a chance for lake effect rain showers. Overnight lows will go from the 50s this week or through the middle of this week to the upper 30s by Sunday. That's again where the chance for some wet snowflakes will come into play across the higher elevations.
Andrew, thank you. Well, New York Attorney General Letitia James released the following statement on the first day of trial in her case against Donald Trump for engaging in years of financial fraud to unjustly enrich himself and cheat the system. For years, Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth to enrich himself and cheat the system. We won the foundation of our case last week and proved that his purported net worth has long been rooted in incredible fraud. In this country, there are consequences for this type of persistent fraud, and we look forward to demonstrating the full extent of his fraud and illegality during trial. No matter how rich or powerful you are, there are not two sets of laws for people in this country. The rule of law must apply equally to everyone, and it is my responsibility to make sure that it does. Well, coming up next, a Halloween investigation of the Hinsdale house promises a night of paranormal thrills.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Nestled at the end of a secluded country road, the Hinsdale house has long been a magnet for seekers of the supernatural. This rustic abode harbors a chilling history filled with exorcisms, multiple spirits, and numerous unexplained phenomena. Between 1970 and 1974, Clara and Phil Dandy, along with their 4 children, endured an unsettling presence in the house. The family claimed to have been chased out by spirits even after multiple exorcisms. The laundry list of paranormal activities reported includes apparitions, blood-curdling cries, unexplained scratches, appliances activating autonomously, inexplicable burns, objects vanishing and reappearing, and lingering legends of a nearby hanging tree where a pregnant woman was executed years ago. For those daring enough, the opportunity to spend a spine-tingling night at the Hinsdale house awaits. Eclipse Paranormal will conduct a live investigation across 8 platforms during the global ghost hunt. Tickets and payment plans can be found at www.eerie.events/ggh-Hinsdale with an age requirement of 18+ for attendees. Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it today for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're also on Channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com. Thank you for watching.